God that the brothers on the rise now. Endless celebrations all in my house. Levitating now, I'm super duper fly now. London boy, but DC where I reside now. Put the time in while you always yelling time out. If you quit it, cause I know I'm coming with it.
What's up, guys, and welcome to FPL Today. I'm the man in the know, J&O, and today we're doing a little live video where I will go over my plans for Gameweek 30 plus and onwards, including things like chip strategy and wildcard strategy, as well as just looking at my team in general. I thought I'd bring you along for the process of me trying to make some decisions now that the Fantasy Premier League is back. But before we do that, just a quick bit of admin to go through. We have a few channels to shout out that I am involved in. We have the FPL Wildcats, of course, which you should hopefully know about. That is in the description with a link where I talk about FPL with some of my friends, Nimfria, Brett from FPL TV, and Kurt Yoy. We did a live stream last night and it was very successful, so definitely go and check that out. And also, us four have started gaming. We have a Twitch channel called the Wildcats, and we also have a YouTube channel called the same. Links are also in the description, so do please go and check them out. And also, if you do enjoy this little journey down trying to make something of my team for the rest of this season, then do consider hitting that like button. Leave your comments in the comments down below once the video is over, and let's get straight to looking at my team and talking about what I plan to do moving forward. So, in front of you is my team. Apologies if it isn't obvious about the players I have there. I am working on the stream setup because I believe this is the quickest way for me to get you guys content during a period where there'll be fixtures thick and fast. So we are actually looking at my team of Pope in goal, Alexander-Arnold, Doherty, O'Connell, Aurora and Rico as my defenders. Salah, McNeil, Barnes, Traore and Fernandez are my midfielders. Now, Fernandez was, of course, my only transfer during the lockdown period because I just wanted Fernandez in. He'd been absolutely brilliant before the season had halted. Then up front we have Calvert-Lewin, Ings and Aubameyang. Of course, Aubameyang brought in for a double game week that didn't happen then, but looks like it's happening now. So we also have Button in goal as a placeholder on the bench. So I have three strategies that I am considering going into Gameweek 30 plus. Of course, the obvious one, and I think a lot of people are doing it, is unlimited transfers have been introduced to the game. And those unlimited transfers, of course, allow us to build any side we want for the only scheduled, and there could be extra double game weeks if things do happen as the season progresses, but the only scheduled double game week at the moment is Game Week 30 plus. We of course are only looking at 4 sides having a double game week in that one. It's Man City, Arsenal, Sheffield United and Aston Villa. So what could be done is to load up on some of those options and then bench boost potentially going into Game Week 30 plus, and hoping that you pick the right players to get some returns. Of course, there is the issue with rotation, which will be prevalent, especially with there now being 5 substitutes in a game with 9 players being on the bench. So that does mean rotation could be a lot more prevalent. But there is also some other strategies that I am considering other than just using the unlimited transfers and hitting that bench boost, and those options are potentially free hitting. If I'm happy with this side moving forward with the fixtures that are left, then potentially I could free hit. Yes, I won't have 15 players playing, but do I want 15 players from 4 sides necessarily? And will that mean I'm ignoring some single game week players? Whereas I could free hit and then I'd keep this side from game week 31, and if that side has a good run, it could benefit me, and it does mean that I still have my bench boost to play at another time, and it does mean I also have my wild card if I need to change a side in any way at a certain period. And another thing I have been considering as well is the unlimited transfers into Game Week 30 and using the bench boost, but then free hitting in Game Week 31, which isn't part of my initial strategy. And from that, I will end up in Game Week 32 with a wild card and 2 game weeks worth of data to look at to try and pick the best side till the end of the season. So those are options that I could consider. So, first thing we need to do is we need to look at my side and decide if it is good enough from game week 31 onwards that potentially a free hit is viable. So what we have first is Nick Pope in goal. His fixtures, as you can see, are not a great one in the game week 30. It is, of course, Manchester City away, which is something I want to be trying to target anyway, moving forward, because I want to get the Manchester City players in. But after that, he does have 4 decent fixtures that he could really take advantage of. Watford at home, Crystal Palace away, Sheffield United at home and West Ham away are all fixtures where Nick Pope could potentially keep a clean sheet. We've of course got Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now, does he really have any fixtures that you wouldn't want Trent for? Yes, Everton is the first game, Crystal Palace, Man City, but then you've got Aston Villa and Brighton Hove Albion, 33 and 34. There is Arsenal, Chelsea near the end of the season, but again, this is Liverpool, this is Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's probably a player that I'm still going to want to consider keeping. We've then got Matt Doherty. Again, those fixtures, apart from that Chelsea fixture, overall look like nice fixtures. So Doherty is someone that maybe I could rely on to be decent, although of course wing-backs, Trent and Doherty, could be players that have their minutes managed, because wing-backs are one of those positions that do a lot of running on the pitch. We do have a double game week player in O'Connell. He was a bit of a punt instead of going for the likes of Stevens, Baldock and other Sheffield United defenders. He's got 2 decent fixtures in the double game week. It is then Man United after that. It's not great fixtures, but Sheffield United have or were impressing before the season did come to a halt. We also have Aurier as a defender we could keep. Yes, tough first fixture, but then the fixtures look pretty decent. And finally, Rico, who is a bench holder but also had some FPL potential with returns sporadically. First 3 fixtures aren't terrible. Crystal Palace, Wolves, Newcastle, and it'll be fixtures that Bournemouth will want to get victories in. So the defence isn't in too bad shape. If we look at the midfield, Salah is again a Liverpool player I'm probably going to want to keep after the double game week anyway. We've got McNeil in as well. 4 decent fixtures, a bit like Nick Pope. We've got Harvey Barnes. Leicester need to of course try and keep their Champions League berth, so again, despite the fact they've got Everton, which is put down as a 4, I personally think Leicester have a good chance against Everton. They have Arsenal, they have Spurs, they have Man United. Leicester have something to play for, and they have been playing well, so Harvey Barnes is someone I could keep, and of course I have transfers to use after game week 30 anyway. Bruno Fernandes is a no-brainer. Look at those fixtures after Tottenham Hotspurs. There's a reason people were bringing in Bruno Fernandes. We've got Calvert-Lewin. Again, fixtures don't look terrible. Decent fixtures, although of course I may want to change Traore. So the fact of the matter is I'm quite happy with how my team is after game week 30, which makes me feel like I should free hit or potentially just use the transfers normally, maybe 1 or 2 trades or Wolves player. Again, decent fixtures, although of course I may want to change Traore. So the fact of the matter is I'm quite happy with how my team is after game week 30, which makes me feel like I should free hit or potentially just use the transfers normally, maybe 1 or 2 transfers to try and target this double game week. I know a lot of people will be targeting the double game week, going very, very heavy, which makes me lean towards the free hit strategy, because then I can lean into this double game week heavy as well. But I could easily just bring in 2 Man City players. I already have Sheffield United cover in O'Connell. I already have double game week cover for Arsenal in Aubameyang. Bring in 2 City players for maybe Traore and maybe Ings. And then I could be looking at a decent amount of players to cover the double game week. And I've not used any of my chips. I'd still have everything available to me to move on from there. So hopefully that has given you an insight into what I am thinking about doing. I'm still going to have to think about it and dwell on it a lot more, to be honest. But hopefully the 3 strategies I've laid out do help you in making your FPL decisions and deciding how you're going to approach the end of this season. Now, we were live I was planning on chatting to some people, but for some reason there's no one in my chat and no one viewing. So we'll finish the video here. Thank you guys for tuning into this video. As always, I've been JNO. This has been FPL Today, and remember, it's all about the game.